Only two states, Maine and Vermont, have lower COVID positivity rates right now. So that's why Governor Cuomo, as we enter the holiday season, is stepping up the National Guard here at area airports to make sure everyone entering New York City has taken a COVID test. Because the COVID infection rate has experienced an uptick, hovering dangerously close to 2% statewide, Governor Cuomo announced today that heading into the holidays, there would be an increased National Guard presence at New York City airports to enforce the new entry test requirements that went into effect on November 4th.
You should not land if you do not have proof of a negative test upon landing. You were supposed to take a test where you were coming from and within 3 days, and it was supposed to show a negative test.
The governor said airlines personnel and Port Authority, as well as the Department of Health, will be assisting the National Guard to enforce these new rules. The new entry test policy requires travelers to take a COVID test 3 days before traveling to New York, then quarantine for 3 days, and then take another one on the 4th day after they arrived. If the second test is negative, they need not quarantine for 14 days.
I do have enough information. I Googled it before I got on the flight to make sure I followed whatever protocol was in place at that time.
Some passengers arriving at LaGuardia tonight knew about the change in quarantining and COVID testing regulations instituted by Governor Cuomo 2 days ago, but others did not. And no one said anything about taking a test 3 days before you come to New York and take another test 4 days after you arrive?
No, I didn't hear nothing about that. No. This is my first time hearing that, honestly.
And there are exceptions to these COVID test requirements at the airports. Essential workers and those coming from the neighboring states do not have to comply. Also, New Yorkers returning from travel less than 24 hours don't have to test before returning, but they must take a test 4 days after their arrival. These new COVID test rules also apply to cars and trains, but that is much more difficult to enforce. From LaGuardia Airport, McGee Hickey, Pix 11 News.